Hello, in this video I want to talk about emotions around divorce. There are going to be days when you're asking yourself if you've got it all wrong, and I want to help you understand where you are in your healing, understand your next steps in divorce, understand how to get to where you want to be. You might see glimpses of the person they once were. Welcome to the Divorce Sanctuary. My name's Elizabeth Goddard. I'm author of Finding Lily and the A to Z of Emotional Abuse. On this channel, I talk about healing from emotional abuse and divorcing both emotionally and physically from the abuser. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're returning, welcome back and thank you. And thank you so much for all my new subscribers over the last few weeks and months. It's amazing. Thank you for your continued support. Understanding the process or the divorce process or the healing process is really helpful, but understanding where you are on your journey and what to expect is crucial. The divorce process is the perfect arena for the abuser, for them to get more supply, not only from the process itself, but from you and the people around you, the way you're going to react, and they will be able to play victim. During the process, you might see glimpses of that person that you remember, the person you felt for, the person you fell in love with, the person you thought you were protecting. I lost count of the times that I said he would never do that to me. That was at the beginning when the relationship broke down and at the initial stages of the divorce. But when I came out of the nightmare, I realised how wrong I was. So it's important to remember these 7 things. And yours might not be the full 7, it could be like a bit of a pick and mix, but it's important to remember why and how you got here and to find the escape route. So the first thing you need to remember is that this relationship wasn't kind, caring, or even sane. And I talk a lot about healing and breaking the trauma bond. And one of the threads of this bond, one of the tendrils, is remembering the role they played at the beginning, that mask that they put on and the character that they created. There might be moments during the divorce process where you slip back to remembering who you thought they were, not who they really are. And perhaps you don't know or fully understand who they are. You might have so many questions, and part of breaking that bond is divorcing emotionally. And one quick way to snap out of that thought process is to ground yourself really quickly before you get trapped in an emotional spiral or sucked into an emotional vortex of grief. Please don't get me wrong, you do need to grieve, and you will need to grieve who you believed they were. You need to grieve the relationship, the death of part of you, and also grieve the fake future, which you still might be trapped in or trying to recreate on your own. I'll put some links in the description box below to some grounding techniques. You may need to heal the wounds, and this is really important. It will help you divorce emotionally so you feel nothing towards them. So when they play their silly games, it does nothing and there's no trigger in any way. The second thing you can do is to remind yourself of the immature character or the sense of entitlement which will pop up in negotiations. Remind yourself of your worth and remind yourself that this negotiation has already taken place. It took place in their head with them. They already made a decision of what they believe you're entitled to or what they can get away with if it is that you're in a worse financial position. If, on the other hand, you're in a better financial position, the negotiation will be one of entitlement and they will be getting a better deal for themselves. It will be going in their favour. Remind yourself their games will include triggering you for a reaction. Remind yourself of all the walking on eggshells that you did, that took place. And if you were fortunate enough to experience any form of peace and tranquility once you left the relationship, keep reminding yourself of that. They may have played games of triangulation with you and others to create jealousy or a need. Remind yourself of the ways your life is better without them. And if your trauma bond tugs or hurts in any way, understand where this is coming from. Keep reminding yourself of the immature child that was running this relationship. Breathe and ground yourself. If you're being taken or drawn back into those emotions, nothing about this process is fair, and they will play games with you and anyone involved. They will play the victim. Protect yourself as much as you can. You might be angry or behave totally out of character. You might have done this during the relationship. Remember, they manipulated you from the moment you met. They know how to get a reaction from you, and they will use the information they have on you to manipulate this process. They will have set the scene for their friends and family, your friends and family, and you will have been assigned a character. Their manipulation will be to bring out that part of you that will prove that they are right. They love playing games and they love creating drama, but they claim they hate it so much. Keep your focus on you and what you want from the divorce. Stay in your body and do not allow them to trigger you or your emotions to take over. Whatever the reason or the reaction that they're hoping for, it will be to prove how much power they have over you. They want to see you in pain and they want to manipulate you. This is purely for their own satisfaction, and the louder or angrier or messier reaction, the better. They won't like it if you create boundaries. They don't want you to get legal support because they won't be in control. They will make false claims about you, and you might find yourself having to justify your behaviour. They may tell you that you don't need a solicitor or lawyer. This is for them. They may suggest it because they're a waste of money or a money pit, or they will only be after your money. Firstly, take everything they say and change it from they to I. And secondly, stick to your boundaries. No contact or grey rock. Get everything in writing. No phone calls or text messages. Everything via email. Even create a new email address purely for the divorce process so nothing gets lost. If you can, have the contact just between the legal teams, yours and theirs. Anything said to you about the divorce should be closed down. You can't discuss it. No debate, just no. The fifth thing is when they try to contact you, remember the mess that you were constantly clearing up. Remember the drama they caused wherever they went, the demands they made on you and others. Remember the life you led and the lies you told for them to cover them. Remember how you pretended everything was okay when every day you were dying inside. How you justified their behaviour and made excuses for them. And number 6 is see the patterns, and this is particularly for the empaths. Empaths see patterns and should be able to see the patterns in the relationships of the emotional abuser. To remind yourself of the boundaries that you crushed of yours and of other people's, and remind yourself how you did see it, but then you bought into their victim story. You lost yourself in them and in the relationship, and you probably gave up a lot of your dreams and your goals just to satisfy them. This was about power and control. Now is the time to claim back that power and take control of your life. Each time you slip down that slide of feeling sorry for them or their damaged inner child, remind yourself of the pattern and how it was used to manipulate you and others and situations for their own benefit. Number 7 is check in with yourself. So when something or someone hurts you, or you get a reaction to either reading something or something that's being said, you need to check and break that trauma bond. And it might be just one thread that needs to be broken, or a few. Keep feeling into your body. Get out of your mind, which was programmed to trick you not to listen to your gut. It was tricked to turn off and to tune into others for approval, or to turn to them for what they want you to do for them. If you are trying to contact them or stay in contact, ask yourself why. If you're being hurt or reacting to anything that is being said, turn inwards and ask what it is that's hurting. Love shouldn't hurt. Love shouldn't be conditional. Emotionally healthy people divorce, but they will want to make sure the process is fair. Emotionally unhealthy people won't. For your sanity, start your healing, divorce emotionally from them, and then walk away. Get practical, create a list, understand the process and what comes next, and look towards your future. What do you want it to look like? Are you instigating this divorce, or are they? My observation around this is that if you're instigating the divorce, they hold back. They will sit on paperwork, will not respond. However, if they see that you're broken and hurting, they'll manipulate the whole situation and they will instigate it. Do you know everything you need to know about the timescales and how the process works? Have you sat down and thought out how this is going to work? Do you have a list of negotiables and non-negotiables? Do you know what's important to you? Do you know, more importantly, what is important to the emotional abuser? I'll put the link to my workbook, Turn Broke and Broken into Your Superpower. There's a form at the back that will help you think about your negotiation. How are you feeling about the process? Be honest with yourself. And if you can't be honest with you, who can you be? You might have a mixture of emotions. It might be relief, anger, hate, love, fear. Acknowledge them all. You might be scared. You might feel overwhelmed. You might be confused. Take the time to understand the process, what forms need to be completed. You might have handed this over to someone else, like a legal team. But you need to know how this process is going to work, and you need to make sure that they are working for you. Remember, you were a project to the emotional abuser. They know how to trigger you. They did it when you were married. This process isn't going to stop them, and they will do it from the safety of their legal team, who will become their enablers. It will be a loaded letter or an email, and they will just sit back with their popcorn and watch the fireworks. Even if they don't see your reaction, they get supply from imagining it. The good news is that understanding where you are emotionally will help you understand why you're reacting. Understanding the legal process will help you stay in control and out of overwhelm. Understanding your trauma bond will help you heal and create a plan. Understanding what you want will help you with your negotiations. Understanding who they are, and this is so important, will help you negotiate. Trust your intuition. What is it telling you? Each letter and email has the potential for information to be hidden inside it. What you don't comment on will be taken as an agreement. Each letter and email has the potential to trigger you, to get you to react out of character. I hope you found this information useful. If you'd like to find out more ways of working with me, I'll put the link to my website below in the description box, along with the links to both my books, Finding Lily and The A to Z of Emotional Abuse. I'll also put the links to both my free workbooks, Turn Broke and Broken into Your Superpower and Self-Care is Vital, below as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It just helps me get more information out to a large audience, and if you hit the little notification bell, it will tell you each time I post a new video. And I'm sending you loads and loads and loads of love.